Hello, friends. I am Dee from Embodied Sexuality Tarot. I'm a spiritual practitioner, a divinator. I read intuitively. And here on this channel, I like to provide relationship insight in terms of connecting with body and spirit, relationship with self, and relationship with others, okay? So, giving you some insight advice to help you make the best decisions for yourself and live more in alignment with your true calling and what feels good to you, all right? So first things first, I do have a shop. This bracelet here is Oshun inspired. It's got some tiger's eye. I forgot what this one is called, but I probably listed in the description. But just want to let you know that on my Ko-Fi shop I do have jewelry as well as where you can book me for personal readings or pre-recorded readings, okay? So I'm just going to open up and allow any messages to come through about any connections that you've got going on in your life at this time, okay? Can be romantic, can be platonic, can be familial. I'll just tune into intuition and let you know what I've got coming in. So let's get started. Okay. I do have a song that was starting before I hit record. I am clairaudient. It's called True Love by Wizkid. It's like an African song. But it's your loving is something I want. Your loving is something I feel. Your loving is something that's real. It's true love. All right, hey. So I don't know who that's for. Maybe you just connected with somebody that you're really feeling, or you might even be curious if this is like your person. And you know, you're trying to work on pacing or timing, divine timing versus like societal timing that tells you, okay, one day is not enough to know somebody, which, you know, it can be true. But I just feel like if you're in contemplation, I'm seeing Four of Cups. If you're in contemplation and wondering how to proceed with this person or whatever, with that song, I just do feel that the energy around you is very loving. So I'll say that. Loving and authentic. Loving and authentic. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have Ten of Cups. Y'all, hello. Okay, so we have Ten of Cups here, which is, you know, just emotional fulfillment. I feel like if you're interacting with others or even just for yourself, but when the Ten of Cups is showing up right now, for me, I feel like it's just saying, bring love into the situation, tune into love. What else? Hold on, there was something about exchange, right? Because we've got this cup is going to all the other cups. This cup is going to the other cups. So I just feel like there's a message of alignment, a little bit about matching energy or reciprocity, synergy, just mutuality. All right. So I feel like if you're kind of in a space where, yeah, because now I'm seeing the scales. Yeah, I just feel like reciprocity or kind of giving what you're getting back, or just kind of like this. But there's also this energy because this one is red, this one's orange, yellow, and then green, and then blue, and they're going into different cups. So there's a message coming through about seeing people for who they are, and their authenticity. Okay, I'm being shown the throat. So if you're somebody who has been struggling to communicate your emotions, your desires, things that you've been thinking about or something like that, I just feel there's this energy of living in your truth. And when you're living in your truth, the fortune like favors you. Okay, so if you're not expressing yourself authentically, then that's presenting yourself in a way where others can't truly see you, right? And so so you could be attracting somebody or situations, or have been. I feel like this is more in the past. So I feel like you could have been attracting situations that didn't allow you to fully be yourself, but that's because, you know, that person really couldn't like see you, or the situation. I just feel like those things couldn't really honor each different part of you. Okay, so, you know, there's this inner child that we have, this playfulness, this curiousness. Then there's the seriousness. Then there's, this energetic, active version. And then there's the version that just needs to hermit and be more introverted. So we cycle through our emotions and have to honor those parts of ourselves. And so, if there's a situation that kind of represses the sadness, that represses the inner child's curiousness and playfulness, if there's situations or people that are suppressing that, then it's not really aligned. And so that's why it's really important to live authentically and share what we need to say and things like that, because then we're able to align with other people that can see those things or match with those things. And sometimes we're afraid to say things because we don't know like how other people are going to take it. But like, it could be, sometimes you have to lead, right? So sometimes being the first person to say something, and then it turns out, oh, these people also feel the same way. So a lot of times that happens in work too, work environments where you don't want to say something because you don't want to be the only one or look crazy or sound weird or something. But then sometimes it takes one person to speak up, and then other people are like, oh yeah, I experienced that too. Oh yeah, I noticed that too, or something like that. So, okay, with these two cards, it's just saying like, hey, living in your truth, living authentically and a little more freely bring fortune to you, or bring you more in alignment with things that are meant for you. Okay. Whew. Sorry about that long message, y'all. Okay, what else? We got the Death card. I see you going through some sort of transition. We do also have Ten of Cups again, and Three of Wands here at the back of the deck, and the Devil under that. Okay, so I really see that you're shedding your skin, you're really letting things go, and that you are working on living more authentically. So again, I'm being drawn to the throat chakra, so I feel like the throat chakra and the heart chakra are things that are really coming through for you at this part of your journey. So meditating on the throat, you can look up YouTube videos, or you don't even have to do that. You can just really just kind of sit and focus your mind on your throat. You can do, throat affirmations where I speak my truth, I speak confidently, my voice is sweet, people want to hear what I have to say, I honor my boundaries, I speak up for others, whatever. So like, yeah, so with the throat chakra and the heart chakra, I speak compassionately, I am open to love, I give freely without expecting in return. And then again, honor boundaries with that too, because that's important. So I don't know. I just see that affirmations, meditations on those specific chakras. Also, the sacral is coming through as well. So for those of you who have maybe a little bit of hurt or disappointment in your genital region or lower pelvic region, there could be like some disappointment there. So I feel like meditating on that or opening up pathways for that. You could also eat blue foods. I'm seeing blueberries. Okay, maybe adding blueberries to your diet as long as you don't have any allergies to it or whatever. But that can kind of help clear out the pelvic area and help with some inspiration. Okay. Anyway, what else are we seeing? So yeah, you're going through some sort of transition. I see this as more like on a personal transition, but it also can be, in your outer world as well, because our inner world is a reflection of our outer. So the more that, you're kind of working through your chakras, you're working through your system and connecting with your body and letting go of different relationships. I honestly see you coming through with this Three of Wands, I see you coming through as somebody who's more confident, who's more kind of well-rounded or balanced. And just really, yeah, I see this vulture card. I mean, like, you might look at it and see like just bones and whatever, but just with this, the way that the vulture is looking here, or this bird is looking, it looks very mighty. Okay, so almost if you see like an image, or I'm seeing an image of like a lion on top of a cliff, and it's staring outward, or like a wolf. Yeah, some sort of like alpha, certain assertive animal that trusts its instincts, kind of looking out into like the air, looking over its life. So yeah, again, I'm getting Four Cups again, so where you could be in contemplation or just kind of looking back or looking to the new rather. So it's like you did this shedding and you're looking off into the distance of like what can become. You're looking for new possibilities. All right, I love that for you. And then again with the devil, I see you've let go some things. You've let go of some things, some situations that were just causing you anger. Okay, things that you could have been overindulging in. Let's see. I just feel like there was a situation that was really making you angry. Okay. What kind of messages do they need to hear though? Let's get into the messages. Okay, death card. So be prepared for this transition. Allow yourself to be excited about it. Allow yourself to embrace it. Okay. You don't need to force embracing new things, but just kind of be open to it. Allow yourself to embrace it with time. But ultimately, yeah, this is a transition for you. This is a change for you. And it can be a little bit painful because, I'm being drawn to more of the bones. You could feel vulnerable. You could feel just stripped of who you were or what you knew. But yeah, so Spirit is saying, the energy of the Death card is saying, just kind of be open to what's happening. All right, have more of a positive mindset about it. Instead of looking to what you lost, look to what you can gain. All right. We also have the Five of Wands here, and we have the Empress at the back of or underneath that. So with the Five of Wands, I feel like a message here is like things are coming together for you. Again, with this Death card in transition, it can feel a little bit painful, foreign. There could be all different kinds of feelings, and as new things or things are leaving your awareness, but also things are coming into your awareness, right? And so with the Five of Wands, it just seems like things have kind of are coming into place for you. And it's really going to help you align with your highest self. And also you'll feel happier. I feel like so yes, there's some sort of a glow up. I already kind of picked up on that, with the Death card. But with this Empress, it really feels like there's this nurturing. It's almost like this is the universe coming in to nurture you more, right? So with this Five of Wands, things could have been all scattered and kind of been confusing and just not really coming together right. And I just feel like this Empress is the universe coming in and like cradling you, and so really be prepared to feel love. Be prepared to just feel nurtured, revitalized. Be prepared to see yourself in a different light, see things around you in a different light. There's a wisdom octopus coming through, so you're just gonna have like a new perspective, Hangman. But I really feel like love is really essential at this point in your life. So again, I said that I felt like the universe was coming in and wrapping you. This could be somebody that they're sending to do this. Or it could be, just kind of thoughts that are coming up in your head where the universe is like, hey, do this. Take this time to rest. Hey, go here for this experience. This will rejuvenate you or, whatever. So I just feel like there's either messages that you're getting, like you're feeling called to do things differently, or a person is coming in as this representation of the Empress to kind of teach you how to embody that and how to accept that. Okay, because sometimes when we're hurt or when we've been disappointed enough, then we just decide to just, put a wall up and cut people out, cut things out, because it's like, we've been vulnerable and opening ourselves up to receive, and when we received, it was disappointing, it was hurtful, and it wasn't what we wanted, right? So now with this, the Empress coming through in whatever form in your life is teaching you like, no, it's okay to be open. It's okay to be open. It's okay to accept. Okay, of course, have your use your discernment, but I just feel like right now at this time in your life, you're really about to be nurtured. You're really about to be loved if you're not already. Okay, so there's this energy of being open, especially with the Death card again, because remember, all the the wings and the fur or whatever, that stuff is off. So there's this vulnerability that's necessary to really feel. Okay, so we don't want to hold on to past experiences. Death card. We don't want to hold on to, we want to learn, right? But we don't want to hold on, because that's what keeps us more cocooned and more shutting out love possibilities and things coming to us. So the death card is really about, this vulnerability that's needed to really accept and embrace the good in the world, and what we want, right? So if you're trying to manifest, if you've been manifesting love, what is the point of manifesting it if you're not going to be open to receive it, right? Okay. Okay, other messages coming through, please. Oh, the song came back again. Your loving is something I want. Your loving is something I need. Your loving is something that's real. Yeah, okay. Love it. I love that for you. Abundance. Perseverance. What else? I feel like you could be... Ooh. Okay, we got the Grim Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances. With this, I feel like there was a message of being down on your luck. Being down on your luck. I don't know if that is for you or for somebody who you could be encountering or have encountered. But I just see somebody who's in a situation who's like, okay, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do about this? It could be that, you know what, I'm going to speak generally, and you can apply the messages as they are needed. But yeah, this person is like, what am I going to do about this? And I feel like they said grasping at straws. So again, there's just the message about releasing. So I feel like so releasing stress and releasing the need to have to know everything. I think it's important to, use logic to plan some things, but the beauty of like logic and intuition is that they work cohesively. They can work together. Okay, so I feel like this person is over here too much in their head about trying to figure everything out, and I feel like there just needs to be a little bit more releasing to allow intuition to come in as well. So there's this harmony between intuition and logic, okay, that can help guide. So I really feel like as much as the situation can be stressful or uncertain, or you can unthink or want to be missing information, I feel like information comes with time, divine timing, they're saying. Okay, things come to us when we're ready and when we're open to hear it. So if you're thinking too much and trying to overanalyze and be too logical, we're not listening to intuition. We're not allowing ourselves to be guided and receive information of where we need to go, or when to apply for this, or when to share this, or something like that. So yeah, I just feel like lean into releasing a little bit more. But also here's a motivating message. Some of you, again, with this abundance card of like being overwhelmed and stressed, I just want you to know you do have perseverance underneath that, which also seconds what I was saying, because I feel like when I look at this card, this is more of like a guardian angel. It could physically or in 3D, Earth, be an earthly person who is supporting you, beside you, a loved one or a mentor, somebody coming in. But ultimately, I like to think of it as a spirit guide, and that kind of seconds what I was saying about the relationship between logic and intuition, right? If you're in this state, and focused, and look, he's looking down at the sewer, right? So his head's not even up to kind of look around to assess his environment of what kind of resources he can use in his environment, okay? And even here, her head is down and her eyes are closed. So I just feel like, the more that you kind of dwell on a particular situation, the more that you think about a particular situation or person, your energy is focused on that, and you're not able to raise your head, look around at what kind of resources are available. Okay, again, I'm seeing Four of Cups. So with the Four of Cups, the person is focused on the Three Cups that are tipped over, or that are off to the side, but there's this huge big one. The Fourth Cup is just this huge opportunity that's literally being held in next to them, and they haven't lifted their head to just look over and see this big old cup that looks like it would be more aligned for them and full for them, you know. So here's a message of, like, raising your head and looking up, looking around, and being a little bit more resourceful, instead of focusing on one particular thing. Okay. And then gratitude, of course. Give thanks for where you're at, what you're experiencing. Okay. All right. Let's do one more message, because I love talking to you guys. I hope you like the messages coming through. Sometimes they're hard to swallow, I know, but they're really coming from a place of love. So let's do one more message, okay? Ooh, we got Justice. Okay, Ten of Wands here. So hold on, I want to start with the Ten of Wands, because I have a new perspective on this. Now, I used to think, hold on, let me get something to drink. Okay, another message about the throat chakra. Yeah, just balancing out the throat chakra. Now, oftentimes the throat chakra, it's about speaking your truth, but sometimes people can have an over active throat chakra, or underactive. Underactive is when you're not speaking your truth, you're not saying what you mean or what you feel, and it's a little bit more quiet, right? Overactive is when you're over talking people, you're not really allowing them to speak or having balanced conversations. You could be loud. So I just got another message referring back to the throat chakra about, whatever side, or whatever, which of those you resonate with, being over talkative or under talkative or whatever. Just a need to kind of balance that out. Just kind of paying attention to how you're showing up in interactions with others, and being able to honor yourself and honor them at the same time. So yeah, pay attention to the throat chakra. I also feel, hold on really quick, with the throat chakra, they're wanting you to balance that out. Why? It could be that you're meant to share something. There's something you're meant to share. Now, I don't know if it has to do with, on a grand scale, like in terms of work, in terms of community engagement, hobby engagement, but you need to use your voice for something. It's really important. Okay, so share that for you. Anyways, so the Ten of Wands. So I used to think of the Ten of Wands as like, okay, you're carrying the world on your shoulders, and you got to let something go. But now I just kind of feel like it's very optimistic in a way that, hey, you've been carrying the world on your shoulders, extra responsibility, or carrying certain things with you, but it seems like you're almost there. All right, because after 10 we get back to 1, and guess what? Ace of Wands right underneath. So I just feel like, for some of you, the message could be the original message of, letting some things go and feeling lighter, to kind of bring this radiant energy back to you. But primarily, I really feel like it's the second one, where you're almost there. Okay, you've had these extra things on you. You've been carrying this, and you're really just trying to get to a specific place, and you don't really know how to get there, or it's not really aligning. Five of Wands, but I really feel like you're almost there. Okay, I just want to say that I feel like you're almost there. Okay. All right, so we do have Justice for final messages here. We have Ace of Wands, and we have two of Wands. Okay, this is literally what I just said about the throat chakra. Okay, the Ace of Wands. I feel like they keep directing me to your throat chakra, because it's important for you to speak about something. And so the element of air is the words, the voice. and the mind. Okay, so really connecting all of those things together. So, oh, another message is speak into existence. They're saying speak into existence. So if you're so I don't know if you've done this before, like if you've ever written a petition. When you write a petition for manifestation, you write as if you already have it. Okay, so some of you are like, well, so some of you could be speaking in a way of, well, when or I don't have this yet, or I'm going to. It's always like this, like basically that you don't have it. So there's a message coming through really important about the Ace of Swords, where it's speaking things, speaking as if you already have it. And I've actually started to do this kind of discreetly, where, with my relationship, where there's some people that'll be like, oh, this is my husband, this is my husband, although they're not married. But really, you're aligning your voice with your mind of what you want and what you desire. Okay, so you could be like, this is my husband, or this is my job. I will have this job. I will have, I have this job. I have a love that is nurturing to me. I have abundance. I am abundance. Okay, so these kinds of things. So yeah, really speaking into existence what you want to align yourself with. Okay, so yeah, heavy on the throat chakra, heavy on aligning that with your thoughts. Okay, and so for those of you whose thoughts are like, more, negative, where it's like, I don't have this yet. I lost this. This person didn't love me. That just really, it's really not capitalizing on your power. It really isn't. Okay, so remembering the Empress that came up earlier, just really kind of stepping into this nurturing energy of allowing yourself to, you can use your words to nurture yourself and nurture your life back into the way that you want it to be. Okay, so that's a message there. We got Justice. Let me see what Justice is saying real quick for you guys, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. So what do you have to say, Justice? Something about seeing the truth. Seeing the truth. Workaholic. Quest. Okay, we need some sort of balance. I feel like you could, leading into some sort of creative expression, artistic expression, can kind of help you balance out your communication. Okay, so I've been talking a lot about using your voice. Yes, that is important, but there are other ways to communicate. Okay, so you can communicate with images or body language or dance. Hello, dance movements. Okay, so there's just a heavy message around expression. Okay. Anything else real quick? Anything else for Justice? Paradise. So things are aligning for you. All right. It's actually kind of giving me a little bit of Wheel of Fortune. A little bit where we go through the shadow and then we come out light. Okay, so I like to create this image for you guys. It's like when you plant a seed, you cover it with dirt, and then you water it, it gets sunlight, and then that seed that was once in the dark blossoms out into the light. All right, so I just feel like that's you. All right, we got happiness, expansion, joy. Okay, so I really just kind of see this as a time for growing for you, and that you're doing wonderful. Okay, you're doing great. Just allow yourself to embrace and kind of lean into different outlets that can support you with this transition. Okay, I really feel for you guys. I feel very connected. Let me grab a self-care card for you. Okay, so really quickly, if you're new to my channel, self-care cards are things that you can add to help you process your reading, or just if you feel called to practice it. Just want to leave you with more of a practical thing. We got two things. Yo, I was picking up on this. Didn't that remember when I was talking about move your body and I said dance? Dance for communication or, expression. Here it is. Dance it out. All right. Play your favorite song and let the beat guide you. Move your body without thinking about how you look. Give in to the music. Shake your arms, sway your hips, do funny moves, express yourself with movement, dance it out, and have fun. This is also a very good way to cultivate love for yourself and your body, okay? Because if you're, allowing yourself to jiggle under the arms or jiggle, or maybe you're not jiggling, maybe you're a little stiff or something, all right? But just being able to see that and feel that and just kind of be silly, it takes away this like expectation of having like on your body that you want it to be a certain way, okay? So yeah, dancing it out is really good for self-love if that's something that you're needing. All right, one more. Say yes to saying no. All right. Give yourself permission to say no to others when saying yes conflicts with your needs. Remember that your well being is your top priority. What no can you say to today that prioritizes your needs? If this is difficult for you, start saying no to the small things this week, then the not so small things next week, and so on and so forth. All right. And this brings me back to that throat chakra, y'all. Okay. So, yeah, and it's a practice. So don't, be discouraged or anything about what part of your journey you're on. It's a practice. You just have to get used to things. It's a habit you have to build. All right. So you just show up for yourself each day, and each day you show up differently. So it's like, one day you could be really good at saying no and really good about honoring your needs and stuff. And then the next day you kind of pull back, and that's okay because it's a practice. All right. I love you, friends. Thank you for tuning in, and take care. Good luck on your journey.